How does someone go from a literal dirt floor cabin all the way to the White House? Well, today we're jumping into the incredible, almost unbelievable story of Abraham Lincoln. It's a journey that really proves your starting point doesn't have to be your destination.
See, to really get the legend, you have to start with the harsh reality. We're talking about a one-room log cabin right on the American frontier.
I mean, picture a world with no running water, no electricity, and definitely no clear path to anything other than a life of just backbreaking work.
And yet, this is the guy who would rise all the way to the presidency and steer the nation through its most divided, its most bloody chapter. So the real question isn't just that he did it, it's how he did it.
And let me tell you, the answer is not some simple success story. Nope, Lincoln's path was just paved with relentless struggle. I mean, he faced business failures that left him in debt for years, a whole string of political losses, and some truly profound personal grief.
All right, let's start at the beginning. Act 1. This takes us to that raw, untamed frontier and a life that started with, well, pretty much nothing.
So Lincoln was born into a farming family where, just surviving was the main goal every single day. His formal schooling, it was sporadic at best. We're talking less than a single year, all told. Most of what he learned came from borrowed books that he'd read by firelight after these long, grueling days of farm work.
But ambition pulled him away from that life on the farm. And as we get into Act 2, we find that his path forward, well, it wasn't a path of victory. Not at all. It was a path of repeated, very public failure. He taught himself law, became a lawyer, and jumped into politics, but success just wasn't coming. I mean, he lost elections for the state legislature, for Congress, even for the Senate. He faced these constant setbacks that, honestly, would have made most people just give up and walk away.
So that's the real question, isn't it? After all that rejection, what on earth kept him going? What was that internal engine driving him when literally everything on the outside was screaming at him to stop?
Okay, the answer? It lies in Act 3. It's the one thing that truly defined his entire life, his unbreakable mindset.
This right here, this is the absolute core of his story. You see, his reality was just one constant storm after another, but his internal compass, it was fixed. He just knew that his circumstances didn't have to define his character or where he was ultimately headed.
And that became his defining principle. After every single failed business, every lost election, every personal tragedy, he somehow found the resilience to get back up and try again. That persistence, that was his real superpower. And now we get to Act 4, where we see the absolutely monumental result of all that persistence. His refusal to quit. It's what ultimately led him to the highest office in the land, right at the country's moment of greatest crisis.
Yeah, after a whole lifetime of setbacks, the impossible actually happened. In 1861, that boy from the log cabin became the 16th president of a very, very dangerously divided United States. And as president, right in the middle of the Civil War, he made one of the most consequential decisions in all of human history. He issued the Emancipation Proclamation, and in doing so, he fundamentally shifted the entire moral compass of the nation.
So when you look at it all, what's the ultimate lesson from this incredible life? Well, our final act is all about exploring Lincoln's most enduring legacy.
You see, at the very heart of his resolve was this simple but incredibly powerful idea, one he borrowed from the nation's founders but applied with a whole new level of conviction, that all men are created equal. That single belief, it became the moral engine for everything, for preserving the Union and for ending slavery.
I mean, it's a story arc that's almost hard to wrap your head around, right? From the absolute depths of repeated failure, all the way to the pinnacle of power in the White House.
And really, Lincoln's legacy proves a profound truth, that one person's persistence, when it's fueled by conviction, doesn't just change their own destiny, it has the power to reshape history itself.
So I've got a question for you. After hearing about this journey, what do you think was the single biggest reason for Lincoln's success?
Was it A, money, B, his never-giving-up attitude, or C, just pure luck?
Let me know what you think. Drop your answer, A, B, or C, down in the comments. And hey, this took a lot of effort to make, so if you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and subscribe for more inspiring stories like this. Thanks for watching.